I'm out here in one of our pastures. I am getting stuff ready, helping Tom get stuff ready for winter, preparing for that, and getting set up. It's chilly out, and I'm getting ready to go back inside. So come with me, join me. We're going to cook up some Bistro steak with herb aioli, and it's going to be delish. So let's go. Hi, Tessa with Stranko's Family Farm. I am going to be making today some Bistro steak with herb aioli and oven steak fries. So good. I'm going to start first with a farm fresh egg for the aioli. And aioli is just a glorified mayo. So I've got the egg. I'm going to squeeze in some lemon juice. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. And then I've got some garlic in here that I'm going to mince for this in my garlic press. Next, I'm going to whisk this so it's all mixed together. And then, little trick, to keep this bowl in place, I'm going to wrap a damp towel around this bowl, just to nestle it in, keep it in place while I add the olive oil slowly into the bowl. I've got 3/4 cup. Then I'm going to continue whisking this for another minute, but for sake of time, I'm going to add the other herbs. I've got tarragon, between a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half, depending on how much herbs you want to use. I've got chives, and I've got parsley too. Not in that order, but you can get all those yummy herbs in there. Then you're going to stir this. And that is it. Beautiful, lighter color. If you want this to be thickened up even more, use an immersion blender, and that will thicken up this aioli. I'm going to cover and put it in the fridge for a couple hours now that this is done. So next, we're going to work on the steak fries. I've got them cut in half. I'm going to use probably 4 of them. Use more or less depending on your family's needs, or how big the potatoes are. So I'm just going to cut these in strips. And then after I get done with that, I'm going to put them in a pot of boiling water for 1 minute. And then I'm going to drain them and then let them steam dry before I add some other seasoning to it and put it in the oven. I've got all the potatoes cut up. I am going to add those to a pot of boiling water and then boil them for another minute. Don't let it splash on you if you have to hold something that's hot. So I'm going to let this boil and then we'll drain it. It has steam dried for 5 minutes. I'm just going to add some fat to this. I am sorry for the noise. I'm going to add specifically tallow to this fat, to these potatoes. And then I'm going to stir it up real good. And then next I'll add some salt maybe a couple teaspoons or tablespoons, depending on how much salt you want, and if you use kosher salt or just regular salt. And then get that all stirred up really good, and we'll add this to a baking sheet and pop it in the oven. I'm going to put the potatoes on the baking sheet, and then I am going to, ooh, they look good already. I'm going to put them in the oven, 475 for 25 to 30 minutes, stir, and then going to stir them 2 to 3 times while they're cooking. So they're going to go in the oven, and then we'll stir 2 to 3 times. These are almost done. Remember to stir them a couple times while they're cooking in the oven. These look beautiful. I am going to set them aside until we're ready to dig into them. For the steak, a hanger steak is a great option for a bistro steak. I am going to be using our sirloins because you only get 1 hanger steak per cow. And if you're sharing a cow, 2 to 4 people go in on that. So there's only 1 hanger steak. You need to come up with different options. So I'm using one of our sirloin steaks. Another option is skirt steak or ribeye. They all will work really good with this recipe. So I am going to start out by patting dry our steaks because I don't want to steam it. I want a good sear on it. So I want to get this dry. Next, I'm just going to put that over there. I'm going to cut this in hunks. And then I'm just going to keep the seasonings very, very simple. So just some salt. Pepper. And then I'm going to flip it over to the other side and do the same. Salt. And pepper. And then I'm going to add this to a hot pan with some butter and olive oil and cook them on each side for 2 minutes before I put these in the oven. When the butter starts foaming, it's time for the steaks to go in. I have a couple tablespoons of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil. So I'm going to sear, sizzle, these steaks 2 minutes on each side. So set your timer for 2 minutes each side to get them a good sear. After 2 minutes, flip them over and sear them on the other side. Ooh, beautiful sear. Love it. Okay, set your timer for 2 more minutes. These have been seared on both sides for 2 minutes. Now I'm going to put them in the oven for 4 more minutes at 350 degrees. Get a nice medium rare steak. Perfectly medium rare steaks. I am going to let this rest for 5 to 10 minutes. I don't want to cut into this and let all the juices that are going to make this so yummy escape. Steaks look delicious. I let them rest for almost 10 minutes to let the juices not escape. So I'm going to add the steak and the potatoes to my plate. Oh, everything looks delicious. I'm excited to dig into this. Here's the steak. And I've got my aioli sauce. And I'm just going to glob it on top of the fries and some on top of the steak. Or you can just do a glob on the side of your plate too. So whichever you prefer, it is going to be delicious. There you go. That is it. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. Let me know in the comments if there's any other recipe you would like me to demo. Love to hear from you. Take care. So I'm out here in one of our pastures. I'm going to turn this four-wheeler off. And we are getting prepared and ready for winter. And it's cold. I'm chilly. And I'm going to go back inside and warm up. And I'm also thinking of a good steak. So we're going to make some bistro steak. Blah, 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 blah.